I remember coming back from a weekend that I spent with my ex, and as soon as I got home, I just breathed this huge sigh of relief. And I think that was probably one of the big warning signs in all of this. In this video, we are going to be talking about how to know if you're giving too much in a relationship. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into that. Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life. And like I said in the beginning of this, me and my ex, we were in a long distance relationship. It wasn't long distance by many people's standards. We were about 100 miles away from one another. But back then I didn't own a car, and so I had to take a Greyhound bus out to this small little college town to see her, every couple weeks or whenever we'd do that. Many times, don't get me wrong, we had a good time, we connected, we did all that sort of stuff. But I think I was giving too much in the relationship. And looking back, there's a couple ways that I can look back on this period of my time and say, okay, yeah, that was it. I was giving too much. First was that there was this sense of relief whenever I would get back from this trip out to see her. I'd feel this sense of relief when I'd get back into my home, or when I'd be on that Greyhound bus heading back, and I just feel like this tension was just released from the two of us, and finally I could be myself again. The next thing is that if all of the relationship is really about them and what they're going through, and there's not much room for you at all, that's another huge warning sign. Like for me and my ex, she had some issues. We all have issues. I had some issues as well too. But our issues fit perfectly together and created the dynamic that we had, where I was giving too much. I was afraid that she was going to cheat on me, lose interest in me, leave me, or whatever. And so a lot of my attention was on her, trying to make her happy, trying to make sure that she was taken care of, trying to make sure that she was feeling good, and all of that. There wasn't room for me in that dynamic because everything was always about her. It was about her and her emotions. Oh my goodness, she's feeling depressed. Does that mean she's going to cheat on me because she's feeling depressed? And all it takes is some guy to come by and give her a nice word, and then she's going to fall in love with him and leave me again, and all that sort of stuff. I didn't like that. I didn't realize in the moment that was like a really not so great situation to be in, but obviously it wasn't. But I was just so caught up in our dynamic that I didn't even stop to think like, wow, this is kind of a messed up situation. I really felt it when, we would part ways, and I'd realize, wow, my cup is just so empty because I've been spending so much time focusing on her and how she feels, and whether I'm helping her through whatever emotion she's feeling, whether I'm supportive enough, whether I'm a good enough of a man to keep her attention and to keep her from cheating on me, or whatever it might be. And at the same time, though, like the flip side of all of this is that there wasn't room for me in the relationship. There wasn't room for me to have my own totally valid concerns, my own valid fears. There wasn't room for me to talk about my dreams, my desires, my hopes, my challenges, all of that stuff. I mean, sure, we talk a little bit, but my concerns weren't taken very seriously, whereas hers were the ones that were worth stopping the world for. And I thought that by playing into that, I was being a considerate guy, but really what was happening was I was just abandoning myself and not giving myself a chance to fill up my own cup. Not honoring myself, really, to say that, hey, I'm worthy of someone who's willing to take my concerns and my problems seriously. And of course, I would be willing to take her problems and concerns seriously as well too, but it should be balanced. It's not like where it's just so lopsided, or it's just one person, the relationship is all about one person, and the other person is just there playing some sort of supporting role. I suppose the big thing through all of this was that I was really starting to resent her for all of this. I was really starting to resent her for not giving me space in the relationship. I mean, sure, I was doing it to myself. I was voluntarily choosing to focus on her and to minimize my own presence in the relationship, and to do what I could do to make sure that she was taken care of and all of that. But I was starting to build resentment because I wasn't taking the time to take care of myself. I was expecting her to have interest in me. I was expecting her to give me the same amount of interest and attention and concern and all of that I was giving her. I was living from this what we call a covert contract of, if I take care of you, then you'll take care of me. kind of implicit agreement. And I didn't know this at the time, I didn't see this at the time, it was just some sort of unconscious thing that I was acting from. And the way that I could tell, looking back, that it was a problem was that I was starting to resent her for it. And when resentment starts to build, there's probably something that's not spoken there between the two of you, and there's probably something that you're looking for that other person to fill in you that you're not willing to take a step up to the bat for yourself, and to say, you know what, I'm worth making this an important concern in our relationship. I'm worth making this an important thing that we talk about in our relationship. And so if that's the case, then yeah, you might be giving too much in your relationship, and I want to encourage you to step up and to make that an important, valid thing worth talking about. So go ahead and leave a comment down below letting me know what's something that you think might be causing you to think that you are giving too much in a relationship. Is it because there's not enough room for you? In which case, what would that look like? What would it look like if there was enough room for you? What is it you want your relationship to look like? What is it you want your dynamic to look like? Go ahead and leave that down below in a comment. But yeah, I want to make it really clear that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of attention. You are worthy of being taken seriously. You are worthy of all of this. And I hope if you've watched my videos on this channel that you know that you do deserve to be loved for the person that you are. And I hope that you take that, if nothing else, from all of these videos. But anyway, thanks so much again for watching. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.